to deliver a strong, modern, and people-centered security system for Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of Nigerians who yearn for peace, we thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your foresight and your dedication to building a safer, stronger, and more resilient Nigeria. Thank you for this privilege, and thank you, honorable members. I so submit.
Thank you, Honorable Jimmy Benson. Please, next speakers, you should be accordingly guided that because we want to give as many people as possible opportunity to speak, we need to be very economical with our words. Subsequent speakers will have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. So whatever you need to say, please try to condense and summarize and speak within 5 minutes. Thank you very much. The next to speak is Honorable Satomi. Timekeeper, look at your watch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this great initiative. I remain Engineer Satomi Ahmad, representing Jere Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Borno State. I'll go straight to the point, Mr. Speaker, to brief the Honorable Chamber. Today, we are all gathered here to discuss the security situation in our country, and so also to discuss the way forward and solution as parliamentarians and the great peoples that are representing our respective constituencies, which we suffered much from all the complaints, issues that emanating from our respective constituencies. Mr. Speaker, the Committee of National Security and Intelligence is saddled with the responsibility to oversight all issues that has to do with security, national security in our country, and precisely this Department of the State Services, Office of the National Security Advisor, the NIA, National Counterterrorism Center, etc. So far, so good. The State Security Service have been very instrumental for the various success recorded so far against the various threats in national security. They provide nationwide surveillance and deploy sophisticated and efficient network to gather intelligence which is shared promptly with the relevant institutions and stakeholders. The security report, which covers the whole spectrum of criminal activities, provides credible and actionable intelligence to prevent criminalities before it happens or arrest culprits that are involved in criminal activities already perpetrated against the country or its law-abiding citizens. So also, the current security challenges across the country, the Office of the National Security Advisor has the capacity, the coordinator on all the national security issues, chairs weekly meeting on a joint intelligence board where the head of the intelligence agencies, military, paramilitary agencies, and other relevant strategic institutions of government meet and deliberate and discuss the issues of national security in our country. The point against the various criminalities and acts of terrorism, insurgency, banditry are carried out, criminal element against Nigeria. So from our interaction with the relevant agencies in the national security architecture, we have received glowing testaments from the heads of various agencies of the NSS support to the agencies in the executions of their mandates. So also other agencies like the National Cyber Security Center, National Counterterrorism Center, and also National Agency for Control of Small Arms and other light weapons. Mr. Speaker, the committee has also engaged in the National Digital Forensic Laboratory as provided by the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, and a lot of achievements have been recorded due to national security issues. We will submit all such documents in written to your office for the final resolutions in other sectors. Our findings and recommendations. The funding of the intelligence agencies and operations should be prioritized to complement the kinetic and non-kinetic institutions.
30 seconds
The training
more, please.
institutions
Honorable
of the SSA-NIA are also to be strengthening to enhance the competency of intelligence personnel to cope with the ever-dynamic national, global, and criminal terrorism. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I will also, as a son of soil in Borno State and one of the most heated communities in the Northeast, I will tip in one or two things and commend this Honorable House for bringing such a fora for us to deliberate, discuss. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are here 360 men representing the entire Nigeria. We may all escape the judgment of man or woman because of imperfection, but let's know there is the judgment of the Almighty. Today, our people need our voice. We are here. Mr. President has graciously, all of us, all the previous speakers have talked about funding. But we need to remember these fundings are of three categories. There are funding for the central government that has to do with the federal government. There are funding that is going to the state.
Please.
And all these criminalities.
Round up, please. Time up.
Sir, I have only 3. You gave me 5 and 3 minutes. I can pinpoint 3 minutes, sir. So therefore, the state funding. Mr. Speaker, I think we need to ask, what are the governors doing with the funds given to them? The state funding is very critical at this material time. And Mr. Speaker, Mr. President has graciously, under the leadership of this honorable chamber, created 5 additional regional development. Can't we sit down and resolute that all the funding going to this regional development should henceforward prioritize the security and welfare of our people strictly on fighting against terrorism, banditry, etc., etc. Mr. Speaker, today, as a country, we need to look beyond the kinetic measures. We need to look beyond attacks and operations. Mr. Speaker, let's look at the technological aspect of the terrorism fighting. We must imbibe the culture of technology, big data, artificial intelligence, for us to proactively stop all these things and menace that is happening in our country. Mr. Speaker, you have done well, but I still call upon on behalf of all of us that such kind of fora should be created more if we will take even our weekends to discuss. If the American Congress will choose 7 hours to discuss Nigeria, I see no reason we will not take 24 hours to discuss our people. Mr. Speaker, I am sure with what is on ground, we have the capacity. Nigeria is number 30 globally in terms of defense. Third in Africa. There is no issue that we cannot contain. It just has to do with coordination. Proper mechanisms should be put in place so that we will face these challenges squarely. Mr. Speaker, create a room that employ Nigeria even on a voluntary basis. Today, if you call the young people between the age of 18 to 25, 1 million will turn out to volunteer to finish this crisis and madness in this country. So, Mr. Speaker, I call upon you, distinguished colleagues, that we should look into bringing in the new blood to fight this menace, because it's their generation. It's the generation of the Gen Alpha, Gen Z. Therefore, we must do by what it takes for us to end this madness in our country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I thank my respected colleagues for listening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Satome. And I want to ally with what you have said. We discussed with the principal officers just shortly before you were given the floor to speak, that we will extend this debate to tomorrow. We will only take up to zonal presentations today. Tomorrow it will be general debate where each and every member will be given opportunity to speak. But the only one rule we have and which I am notifying members in advance, is that whoever wants to speak, since it is a motion, and we want each and every motion to be well documented, we need you to give us in advance a written submission so that we can file, call you when the time comes for you to present, and we have a paper to at least capture in our votes and proceedings adequately. So please, all members who have individual contributions, tomorrow throughout will be dedicated for the continuation of the security debate. We will only take security committees today and zonal contributions and regional. Rest will be tomorrow. So we give as much time as we can because it's a very important issue that we need to discuss exhaustively and take a final resolution of what we need to do as a House. Thank you very much. The next to speak is Honorable Maki. If Honorable Maki is around,
yep,
please go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamuduri Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to speak as a chairman of Police Affairs, and I'm trying to see that I speak within my scope of jurisdiction. First and foremost, I must commend you, Mr. Speaker, and past speakers, particularly the Deputy Speaker, who touched almost the aspect of what I was supposed to speak. Mr. Speaker, today we hold a special plenary session on national security at a time we confront a hydra-headed security challenges across the entire theater of our national life. Mr. Speaker, today we are confronted with hereditary kidnapping, terrorism, armed robbery, and other security challenges. Their challenges are prevalent in most operational theaters of our society in operation. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, in the entire Northeast, Northwest, North Central, Southeast, and part of the Southwest and South-South, with this security instance become almost daily events. As the chairman of Police Affairs, I'm fully aware challenges facing the Nigerian police force. In its statutory role of internal policing, the country has the least police destination in the whole world. The Nigerian police is currently overstretched, underfunded, underarmed, and underpaid. This is coupled with the other institutional challenges also confronted by the Nigerian police. Policing a nation as big as Nigeria with its population it is not a small job. I know that efforts have been made by the police under the current leadership of the Inspector General of Police. I have a personal contact with him. I see how he's struggling to see that at least he corrects some menace in the police formation and command. Mr. Speaker, for us to improve the Nigerian police, it has to start with the recruitment policy. Mr. Speaker, we have to ensure the fit and interested person are transparent, recruited after the background due process to see that we recruit eligible personnel to the system. Mr. Speaker, also we have to have a rampant renovation of our training institution nationwide. My honorable colleagues, I want to use this opportunity also to see that there is need for improving the more funding for resource orientation activities of the police through the strengthening of the various intelligence gathering unit, recruiting more hands, provision of quality state and equipping provision of adequate arms and ammunition.
Honorable
Improving the response,
congratulations, you have been
human
promoted
capacity
to my
development
seat here.
in terms
Please,
of training
come and sit down.
and retraining, improving the welfare of the current personnel.
No. Come and sit here. It's a
Mr.
big
Speaker,
promotion.
my honorable colleagues, in summary, there is need for more funding in police formation and command. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this opportunity to draw the attention of my honorable colleagues, particularly the Chairman Appropriation, Chairman Finance, and the leadership of this holy chamber to see that they facilitated in making sure that police
1 minute more.
funds are being released immediately, sir. Because you can see how they are struggling. Even recently, the Commissioner of Police in Zamfara was calling me that they need vehicles. Even we are short of vehicles. The IG cannot do anything because there is no any fund. Even their own overhead, sir. Today we are in November. They only receive up to July.
Honorable Maki.
So please and please, Mr. Speaker, leadership, honorable colleagues, we need to put head together and see that there is more funding, particularly in Nigerian police. Because all what we are discussing of internal security. And internal security is the responsibility of Nigerian police. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, my honorable colleague.
Thank you, Honorable Maki. The next to speak is Honorable Aminu Balele, Chairman AMI, if he's around. Okay, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, sir, my highly respected colleagues, I remain Aminu Balele, member representing Dus Amakurve Federal Constituency. I'm from Kaduna State. For now, I'm the Chairman House Committee on Army. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, permit me to sincerely thank the House for graciously convening this special plenary session on national security in service of our people and integrity of our Republic. Today, we gather not only to interrogate the realities of our enduring security challenge, but also to reaffirm our shared commitment to the stable and prosperous Nigeria, where citizens live free from the anxieties of violence and insecurity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the landscape before us remains complex, evolving, and deeply consequential. From the ravaged cities of Northeast, where insurgency once made Delhi a theater of terror, especially through the suicide bombings, to the criminal onslaught, banditry, and kidnapping in the north.
Honorable Kuye, please help us to disband
Criminal
that
and sectional clashes in the
mini
north central,
conference.
separatist violence in the southeast, and persistent oil theft and sabotage in the south-south. The trials have been relentless. Yet, in facing these storms, our army has stood firm, recalibrating its strategies, modernizing its tactics, and leading to multi-theater operations across every region. Mr. Speaker, we must acknowledge the profound respect, the monumental achievement of our forces at the forefront of our counterinsurgency. The dark era when suicide bombing ravaged our cities with miserable regularity has given way to new hope and security in many communities. Boko Haram and ISWAF no longer dictate the force of fear in some cities like Maiduguri, Yola, and the culmination of some territories has enabled displaced families to return home. Some schools and markets are open, and the flag of Nigeria to fly as a symbol of resilience. Mr. Speaker, these gains has come through remarkable sacrifice, innovation, and adaptability by joint missions, integrating intelligence and special forces, deployment of rapid response and mobile units into most inaccessible terrain, expansion of indigenous technologies such as tactical drones and drug collaboration with vigilant groups and local defenders have succeeded in achieving more than what we expected. Mr. Speaker, however, these challenges, both general and specific, persist. Our valiant troops continue to battle with constraints and inadequate modern equipment and vehicles, advanced communication, and unmanned aerial systems, which are essential for effective ground and air operations. Fatigue and morale issues arise from prolonged deployment as a strain, resources stretch the limits of endurance, fragmented intelligence, vulnerable supply.
Chair Army, 1 minute more. Chair Army, 1 minute more, please.
I think I will go and Mr. Speaker, let me quickly summarize some of our prayers. In a spirit of collaboration and transparency, I humbly move a special prayer before the esteemed House under the distinguished leadership of Tajuddin Abbas to formally invite the Chief of Army Staff for a similar plenary engagement. He has expressed a sincere willingness and passionate interest to engage with the House, offering renowned and professional insight and perspectives on the prevailing security situation as seen from the operational theater. Mr. Speaker, in closing, let me extend deepest appreciation to all honorable members for your steadfast resolve to the leadership of our army forces for unflinching dedication and the resilient communities of Nigeria, whose courage inspires our
Chair Army, time up, please. Time up, please.
Thank you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria ISO Summit.
Honorable Zakaria, Honorable Ibrahim, and the former comrade of, let me not complete because I don't want somebody in Kano to feel offended. Please, let's maintain orderliness, please. Thank you. Honorable Igarwe, you are the monitor there, please. Take charge. Is Honorable Balele done? Are you done? You have completed? Thank you very much. The next to speak is the Chairman Navy, Honorable Gadi.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Yusuf Gagdi is my name.
That you have been supported from the right flank by your good friend.
Yes, sir.
Good to see him near you.
He is a brother, sir. I am Yusuf Gagdi. I represent Panshinkanke Kanam Federal Constituency. I'm from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm happy with you and the leadership of the 10th Assembly under your able leadership for not only creating opportunities for members representing Nigerians to have a decent conversation on the issues bedeviling this country regarding to insecurity. Thank you for your leadership and may God bless you all, the leadership of the 9th Assembly. But with heavy heart, Mr. Speaker, and deep sense of duty, I rise to contribute to this most important debate on the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, how I wish we will be debating on any other thing instead of insecurity, but this is where we are. Mr. Speaker, recently, our nation is mourning a lot of activities, not because our government is not doing well, and not because our security agencies
Honorable
are not
Salami,
doing well.
Congratulations, you have been promoted to the leadership role. Please come and sit next to Honorable Dogwa here and tap wisdom, please. No, please go ahead. Go ahead. Two leaders are there. You will tap a lot of wisdom. You're welcome. No, no problem. You can just, okay, so go and sit next to, our leader is there. Just sit there as an honor. And we hope it will be permanent one of these days. Please go ahead, Honorable Gadi.
Thank you, sir. In just last few days, Nigeria has witnessed strategies that should shake every conscience in these chambers. On the 17th of November 2025, armed bandit attacks Government Girls Comprehensive College in Mega.
Order, please. Order, please.
They
Please.
kill a
Order,
vice
please.
principal and kidnap our school children. This is not an isolated incident, Mr. Speaker. It is not, because it is part of over 145 abductions that took place recently in Nigeria, ranging from Kebbi, Niger, Zamfara, and other parts of the country. Mr. Speaker, we know what is happening to our soldiers on the front line, particularly the story of General Musa Uba. Mr. Speaker, from the attack in Kwara, the one in the church, to Katsina Mosque massacre, to mining site attack in Kwara, and violent mob in other parts of the country like Edo State that took place some time ago, it is clear that this House needs to do something urgently. Mr. Speaker, the crisis now have several interconnected theaters. When you look at the Northwest and North Central, banditry, mass kidnapping, extortion, and rural terrorism is happening. When you take the Northeast, the issue of Boko Haram and ISWAP, mutation capable of hitting 100 targets. Mr. Speaker, if you go to South and maritime domain like oil theft and coastal criminality is happening, just like other part of Nigeria. But we should ask ourselves, Mr. Speaker, what is going on wrong? We must be honest with ourselves. Under policing and orchestrated and overstretched force, the chairman police have mentioned this. We know what is happening to our forces in times of joint operation. They are being overstretched. There are no enough manpower to face the situation. Mr. Speaker, in talking about what is wrong, our population is equally exceeding the manpower requirement, and the equipment that our forces have cannot combat insecurity. Mr. Speaker, the failure of safe school framework is equally one of the things that is bedeviling us. Having committed hundreds of billions of naira, yet our schools are still soft targets from bandits and other criminalities in the form of kidnapping. My previous colleagues who speak previously before me have talked about intelligence and technology gaps. Mr. Speaker, too many attacks happened previously in one area, repeating itself because of lack of preventive surveillance and so many other security problems. Mr. Speaker, I will not bedevil us with too much talk, but let me ask this question. What do we need to do as a House? I provide the following solution to us before concluding. A concrete multi-layer plan is hereby presented. We need an immediate action, a joint resolution of both this House and the Senate to be able to tax the security agencies to come out with operational plans that will be able to address the insecurity and face the House in discussing it with Nigerian people on how we can bring this problem of insecurity and reduce it to the barest minimum. Mr. Speaker, a dedicated family liaison unit to give victim family truthful, timely update is equally important. When you look at what is happening in the social media, it puts the family of those kidnapped children into so many traumas. They don't have a dedicated trauma unit to go and get information that will be able to calm them down. Rather, they rely on information, some of them negatively, being circulated in social media and further aggravate their own trauma. Mr. Speaker, there is need for you, having initiated a serious legislative reform. We appreciate you for spearheading security reform, anti-corruption reform, and so many other reforms that have direct nexus with the problem of insecurity. But, Mr. Speaker, you need to do more by ensuring that legislative reform is being conducted. Mr. Speaker, under your own leadership too, the capacity, welfare, and accountability effort should equally be escalated. Mr. Speaker, the House, myself inclusive, need to conduct oversight, robust oversight engagement with the security agencies in such a manner that if a budget is approved, let us monitor this budget to see that it is being expanded up to the front line of insecurity. not for those approval to be stopped at a particular level. Support equally the issue of recruitment and additional military personnel should be expanded to an equally standardized casualty notification should equally be made. Mr. Speaker, there is a need for community and preventive approach. One of it is to create a community safety council across state and local government to strengthen intelligence gathering. It's very important for the security agencies to do that. Mr. Speaker, federal government effort and a respectful call for more. We appreciate the effort of the federal government. I must, Mr. Speaker, acknowledge that the federal government have significantly increased funding for defense, internal security, intelligence platform, and new recruitment. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deserves our commendation for this and for his swift response during the recent attack, for him to stay back and monitor it. Mr. Speaker, our patriotic duty is that we should speak the truth. Nigeria needs much more than what is happening today. Incremental improvement should be made. Our school must be safe, our highway must be safe, our intelligence gathering must be faster, our soldiers must be motivated, and what have you. My message, Mr. Speaker, to Mr. President, having done well is that he have started well, but the nation requires deeper and faster and more coordinated action. Mr. Speaker, history will judge us for doing better by calling for this conversation and being frank with the situation. We must, Mr. Speaker, as a House, look into insecurity in the face, refuse to normalize the abnormality, and trigger a sustained, measurable, and accountable national response from the executive arm of government. Mr. Speaker, for the sake of KB school girls, for the sake of Brigadier General Musa Uba, for the sake of our farmers in Panshinkanke, Kanam that are being killed on a daily basis and other parts of Nigeria, Mr. Speaker, for the sake of our students, for the sake of travelers and vulnerable communities, let's rise and speak the truth and face the insecurity with robust commitment. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Honorable Gadi. The next to speak is Honorable Alasan, Chairman Air Force.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, I remain Right Honorable Kabir Al-Assarurum. I represent Ranabunku Kibe Federal Constituency with the Speaker in Prankano. With the Speaker, my respected colleagues, as the Chairman House Committee on Air Force, by the special grace of God and the permission of the leadership of the House, first and foremost, I wish to begin by commending the leadership under the Mr. Speaker for convening this very important and timely session dedicated to comprehensive review of the nation's security situations at a time when our country continues to face escalating threats from insurgency, terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, sabotage, and criminality across multiple regions. This session is timely, necessary, and in the best interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As Chairman House Committee on Air Force, I will provide a brief but strategic overview of the operational realities across our major theaters, highlight ongoing security interventions, identify critical gaps, and propose actionable legislative and oversight measures that can strengthen our national security posture. First, in the Northeast, under Operation Hadunkai, the Nigerian Air Force continues to sustain pressure on Boko Haram, ISWAP, predicting airstrike, ISR missions, and the close air support have been carried out in hotspots such as Sambisa Forest, Timbuktu Triangle, Goda, Baga, Mafa, Dipa, and the Lake Chad ranges. These operations are essential, especially as insurgents continue to exploit rugged terrain and cross-border safe havens. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, in the Northwest, mandatory mass abductions and illegal mining remain dominant threats. The Air Force has conducted targeted strikes in Bindungwali, Zurmi, Sape, Safana, and the Kalambina Forest edges. Rapid response mission has also supported security operations during our major abduction incidents and highway attacks. However, shifting threat patterns continue to demand improved night operations and forward deployed assets. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, at the North Central, persistent IS patrol over Plateau, Benue, Nasara, Kogi have helped preempt communal clashes and monitor kidnapping corridors, especially along the Abuja-Kaduna edges. Yet, the shortage of night-capable aircraft limits through 24-hour responsiveness. Mr. Speaker, my respectable colleagues, in the South-South and the Gulf of Guinea, the airports continue to play a vital role in protecting our economic assets. ISR flights have supported the disruption of illegal refining sites, pipeline tipping points, and the maritime criminality around Brass, Boni, and ex-Krabos. Collaboration with the Navy and JTF under Operation Delta Safe remains crucial to safeguarding oil and gas infrastructure. In the Southeast, operations are carefully collaborated to avoid collateral damage in densely populated urban centers. Through intelligence-led engagement, UAV surveillance, and precision targeting, the Air Force has supported efforts to dismantle IED, making hideout and armed group camps in locations such as Orlu, Orsu, Ihiala, Nsuka, Newi, and part of Ebonyi State. Air surveillance has also strengthened the work of police and DSS in tracking targeted killings and countering attacks on public infrastructure. But the Speaker, my respected colleagues, despite this effort, numerous constraints continue to undermine optimal performance of the Nigerian Air Force. Funding unpredictability affect procurement, maintenance, fuel supply, technological gaps, particularly in the ISR platform, UAVs, and night-capable aircraft limit situational awareness. High operational tempo has placed pressure on maintenance facilities and personnel. Welfare challenges for the officers and men who are in the front line, housing deficits and medical gaps persist, and finally, concern over collateral damage makes intelligence, validation, and mission planning more demanding. On the positive side, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, the Nigerian Air Force has recorded notable achievement. Over 8,600 missions have been deployed in the last 18 months. New aircraft such as T-129 attack, helicopters, UAVs, DA-62 aerial platform, King aircraft, and the AW-109 trackers are boosting capabilities. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleague, in our country, technical capacity has expanded with the major aircraft inspections and activations now occurring locally. Both local and international training have improved. This development shows significant progress, but also underscores the need for sustained support from the legislature. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleague, in the light of the realities, I propose the following oversight and legislative measures. First, the airport should be mandated under our committee, as usual, to be providing more quarterly readiness and serviceable report to the National Assembly. Two, the oversight visit that we always carried on must continue, most especially to monitor the runways, hangars, port operating bases, and the personnel welfare facilities should be intensified. We must also promote integrated intelligence sharing through a national IRS coordinating framework. We should fast-track the establishment of the Air Power Center of Excellence, which I believe will strengthen doctrine development, research, and operational training. Finally, we must legislate predictably multi-year funding for air power modernization. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, Nigerians stand at a critical.
Honorable Ali Madaki, can you stand up for recognition, please?
Our obligation as elected representatives of the people is to provide effective oversight, enact purposeful legislation, and ensure that our security agencies have the tools, resources, and accountability framework necessary to protect our citizens nationwide. With a renewed commitment and united legislative front, we can significantly improve our security outcome and restore stability across the nation. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I thank you and I thank the leadership of this House for giving us the mandate and the opportunity to serve at the capacity with regards to our armed men and women who are doing their best to protect the sanctity of this great nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May God bless and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kabiru Alasan. The next to speak is Honorable Oshoba, Chairman Judiciary. Justice, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, Olumide Oshoba, representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi and Odeda Federal Constituency. Let me first of all commend the leadership and Mr. Speaker for this session. And going straight into it, I think all citizens are stakeholders in securing our communities. Intelligence gathering is very important, so our traditional institutions should be involved. And when we say intelligence gathering should be secretive. Once intelligence is given, people should act immediately. I have a few suggestions. We have a lot of youths that are awaiting trial. Let me first of all commend the government for decongesting the correctional facilities, but we need more. We need non-custodial sentences. Now, when I talk non-custodial sentences, people that are awaiting trial for petty crimes, they should be given an option to join the forces, a mandatory one-year service to secure their communities. Those youths, instead of keeping them behind bars awaiting trial for years, they can be given options of serving in the police force, in the army, or in the navy for 1 year. That would help us secure our communities better. Let me commend my previous speakers. Everyone has spoken about solutions, and I believe if we continue this discussion, we'll find solutions to the security challenges in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Oshoba. The next to speak, and the final among committees chosen, is the Chairman Customs. But before you speak, Honorable Chairman, can you tell me the secret between this incredible partnership between you and your deputy?
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Lekabejide is my name. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State, and I am the chairman of House Committee on Custom and Excise, and my deputy is here, happy. So the secret is we do things jointly. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So whatever I can hold you responsible, I can equally hold him responsible, right?
You are right, sir.
You are one and the same.
One and the same.
You
are
are joint and separately together.
He is from Kano, I'm from Kano.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. We are accordingly guided.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I noticed that anytime we talk of security, Nigeria Customs Service is always omitted. And to me, is a mistake, because most of these weapons that these non-state actors uses comes either through the land borders, both approved and non-approved borders. Also by seaports and airports. That is why the custom is so critical in fighting insecurity. Just recently, we had a program called CPACT, that is Custom Partnership African Cooperation in Trade. And what they are trying to do is to bring all the customs heads and custom formation in Africa together, so that if there's any movement of unauthorized goods coming maybe from South Africa to Nigeria, it has to pass through some border before it gets to Nigeria. So it must not be Nigeria Custom that must arrest such unaccustomed goods. And this program took place in the villa. I was there, and all the custom heads in Africa came. So this is one way to fight this menace. And if custom is not being called all the time, they call security chiefs to the villa, I believe our work is not well done. Because what they use to fight is the weapons and ammunitions. They cannot fight with bare hands. And it comes through importation. Recently, Nigeria Custom intercepted guns at an airport. For what? Is to come and cause insecurity in our land. I want to suggest that for our borders to be well monitored and for these weapons not to move freely within Nigeria, there is need to also make custom to be what? More proactive than they are now. And what do they need? They need support as well, just like the military. One of the major problems that we are trying to, not mention in this insecurity that is ravaging the country is to talk about our family size. I was discussing.
Time.
I was given 3 minutes.
1 minute remain.
Okay. I was just discussing with my colleagues that all these bandits originate from some homes, and they are not from heaven. Somebody gave birth to them. I was listening to one video whereby they said they want to go and meet the mother of the bandit's head. I was shocked. Does it mean somebody is having relationship with somebody killing people in the bush? So there's need for us to look at our family size, just like other countries that we compare our developmental stage with, like China, like United States of America, like UK, so that all these children that we cannot train, that have not become a source of problem to us, will be controlled. This is my own suggestion to this discussion. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Leke. We are done with the committee-led thematic presentations. The next to speak is no other than the only Sardauna Arewa Metuta, the leader, the regional leader of North Caucasus. You have 5 minutes, sir.
You have 5 minutes, Sardauna.
And please, Kumo will hold you responsible if he exceeds by 1 second.
To please, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, GCON ENZEZO, the Speaker of the House of Nigerian People. I want to first of all thank you for this initiative, Mr. Speaker, which of course is giving opportunities to members representing their own people to speak for the people and speak for the constituents, for their constituents. Let me first of all, Mr. Speaker, identify as the same Honorable Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, I am representing the people of Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I am of APC extraction from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I feel appropriate to mention my political identity in this very important discourse because I would not like anyone out there on the street or someone listening to me on the audio to mistake me for an opposition. I am not an opposition. I am a member of the APC, ruling APC in Nigeria. I am also a member, by extension, of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A member of this great parliament also, which has the APC as a dominant factor. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have to say so because I will be speaking here today as a member of the APC, not of particular concern, but with a particular concern. An APC member speaking with a particular concern, Mr. Speaker. And the concern today, as I understand, is about the security of lives and property of the Nigerian people. Mr. Speaker, I have heard briefs and submissions by the relevant committee chairman here about the situation of Nigeria's security architecture. Good, Mr. Speaker. I am not out to say no to their submissions. Of course, that is what they have to report to this House. But when you are speaking, Mr. Speaker, from the point of view of Nigerian people, one must be prepared to call a spade a spade. Mr. Speaker, I am therefore prepared to say that no matter what the government does, my government, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC government, my party, and despite all the submissions of the efforts of all security agencies that were meant here through their respective chairmen, I want to say that yes, the government is doing its best. The security agencies are doing their best. But I want to say with every sense of responsibility and without any fear of equivocation that their best is not good enough. It is not good enough because the security situation in Nigeria today, Mr. Speaker, it is horrific. Mr. Speaker, our security situation is tragic. Mr. Speaker, the security situation, especially in the north where I come from, is devastating. Mr. Speaker, our situation in Nigeria today in the area of security is unspeakable. It's unspeakable because our people are left ravaged in serious tension, fear, and desperation, all because we are lacking and reneging in our institutional and collective responsibility as a government. Mr. Speaker, the fact remains the same, like every one of you here would say, that the responsibility of every democratic or elected government, even military governments, Mr. Speaker, fundamental responsibility of government is the security of lives and property of its own people. Mr. Speaker, what we have today is like a failed security. What we have today, in my opinion and in my views, Mr. Speaker, is like for me to quote in the words of the popular Bob Marley in his own song in those days in the 80s, when he was saying, war in the north, war in the west, war in the east, and war down south. Mr. Speaker, today, Nigeria is operating under a complete war against humanity. And this House must not only continue to chant slogans, move motions, take contributions from members. We must have to step up and rise up to the expectation of our own people. And that expectation must be beyond making pronouncement on the floor. Mr. Speaker, we have to step our institutional mandate. We have to step our institutional commitment and determination to protect the lives of the vulnerable people. Mr. Speaker, you rightly said in your remarks that you were in Kebbi State. As God may have it, Mr. Speaker, I went to Kebbi with you. I saw how the governor of Kebbi, who is the chief security officer of the state, speaking to the delegation of this honorable house in nostalgia, Mr. Speaker, with a very heavy heart. At a point, I would not miss to say, I will not be mistaken to say that I saw the governor weeping in the heart. This will be the same situation everywhere you go in the south or in the north or in the east or down in the west. Mr. Speaker, our governors are not only overwhelmed, it's like they cannot even do it. The responsibility of security, Mr. Speaker, of course, by the constitutional provisions, it is a sole responsibility, more of a sole responsibility to the center. I agree with whoever may say, of course, governors in the subnationals are also accountable and they must be held responsible for the security of lives and properties of their people. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that in virtually all of our constituencies, given the opportunity, everyone here can rise to tell you the account of what is happening. Mr. Speaker, it is not religious. Mr. Speaker, it is not even political. This fight and this menace of insecurity in Nigeria is something that does not have any identification of one's party or one's religion or one's tribe whatsoever. It is a calculated attempt to demoralize Nigerian state. And if care is not taken, Mr. Speaker, even for those of us who take politics more seriously, will have a very big question to answer at the end, because it is like this unnecessary insecurity going on. This is a high level of conspiracy targeting our political processes. As we are approaching 2027, Mr. Speaker, we will all be expected to have a peaceful conduct of our polls. How do you have that if our communities, local communities, are plunged into crisis, into banditry, into kidnappings in the churches, in the mosque, even down in the oil-producing area, which is our economic live wire? Production of oil, crude oil, is being unfortunately undermined by militia groups. So it is like a collective thing that we must put our hands on deck and call whoever is responsible, sir, to order. Order, order, and order. And this House must not take for granted that we are not part of the government. If the government is wanting, this institution of the legislature is a component of the government itself. We have to look inward to ourselves and see what more of oversight functions, like some members have said, are we going to make? Are we going to provide? Mr. Speaker, we can even declare legislative emergency. Close the House, shut it up. Who are you legislating for? What laws are you making when the country is running in blood? The country is running in blood and tears. You cannot go, the farmers cannot go to farm. Our traders cannot go to market. Worshippers cannot go to mosque, cannot go to churches. Then what are you legislating here? Mr. Speaker, if the government is not prepared to actually do the right thing that will protect the lives and property of our people, I urge on you, I urge on this honorable House, as a House of the people of Nigeria, to stand up to pay the supreme cost. And that is no more than to shut this House down and to call emergency on any legislative issue and wait until the right thing is taken by the government of the day. Mr. Speaker, I also want to believe we are equally responsible. We should also go down to our constituencies and lead civil organizations, like the civil vigilante. Let's go and reorganize our vigilante groups. We take commands and take charges of such civil organizations to see how we can salvage and protect our country, Nigeria. What is happening today, Mr. Speaker, is not just to call for mere security or an average performance of security agencies. What we expect of Nigerian government, no more, no less, my Speaker, is to have absolute security. It's for us to have absolute safety. Mr. Speaker, Nigeria must have absolute protection of the lives and property of our own people. This is my take, Mr. Speaker. And I also want to use the opportunity to tell you that my immediate constituency, which is enclave at the southern part of my state, Kano, is also undergoing serious danger, because in the constituency we have what we call the huge Falgore Game Reserve, lying in between Kaduna State, Plateau State, Bauchi State, through Ningi and Bura, Mr. Speaker, and also contacting some part of Jigawa State to the axis of Take. This place used to be a tourist attraction. Many people come in, including tourists from abroad. But because of the dilapidating security situation in my state, Mr. Speaker, today, abduction and kidnappings, not only in the forest, in our homes, has become a daily affair, a daily occurrence. Just like what the pharmacist may prescribe to you in the hospital to ask you to take Panadol once in the day, in the morning, one in the afternoon, and another one in the evening. That is how kidnapping is so prevalent in my federal constituency. This place that used to be an attraction for tourists, it has now become like an extension of the Sambisa forest in Borno State. So we have to definitely do something. Mr. Speaker, I may not have enough time to continue my submissions, but I want to thank you so much for giving our members this opportunity to speak. And I also want to urge members to continue in the spirit we have started. I have not seen anybody here speaking as a southern member of the House of Reps. I have not seen anyone here speaking as a northern member of the House of Reps. I am the leader of the Northern Caucus, Northern Regional Caucus. I am also not speaking as a member representing the northern part of this country. The security challenges that we are facing is a colossal one, it's a collective one that has to do with the Nigerian nation. And we must step up to that expectation and deal with this matter once and for all. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you. And I want to thank honorable members for listening to me. And I also want to further tell you that I have not lost my hope in the renewed hope agenda. I'm still a proud member of the APC.
No, we
Thank
can
you,
see
and
it
God
from your
bless you.
cap. We know you are a strong believer.
Mr. Speaker,
Thank you so much.
point of order. We need to correct something.
What's your point of order, DS?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the audience, the permission to address this. While I commend the celebrated Honorable Dodugwa, it is important to note that we are the hope of Nigerians, the parliament. We are the fulcrum of democracy. Doesn't matter how emotional we get, it doesn't matter how burdensome the problem is. We cannot argue that the parliament should be shut down because the problem is much. This is the solution hub of the nation. I want to say that we should be careful in projecting what might be misunderstood by the people outside this chamber. Mr. Speaker, no problem is too big for the parliament to handle. We will not shut the parliament. We will stay here together because we have best brains gathered from all over the country. We will find solutions to our problems. We have faced stronger problems before now, Mr. Speaker. Last dispensation, upper dispensation, we faced problems. We never shut the parliament. It will not be this time that the parliament will be shut. We are capable, we are able, we will find solution to our problem under your leadership. We will not close the door. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Your Excellency. No, it is no subject of debate. It's an opinion just like you made your own opinion. What I want the press to know, that whoever has spoken is speaking on his personal standing. It's not a resolution of the House because we are not putting to vote any aspect of these motions. So it should be regarded as contributions. At the end of these debates, we will now look at all the areas and put to question and then come up with resolution of the House. So anything that is being mentioned here is just a mere opinion of the Speaker, not the General House. So please let it be taken note of accordingly. Thank you very much. The next to speak is Honorable Inolin, right? Honorable Victor for the South.
Mr. Speaker, respected honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Victor Nwokolo, member representing Eka Northeast, Eka South Federal Constituency of Delta State. I start by thanking Mr. Speaker and the principal officers for this great initiative to address a major concern of all Nigerians, including those here and those that are not here. Let me say that I align with virtually what the earlier speakers have said, that the security architecture of the nation have actually failed. It has failed in its entirety. What is, like my brother Adodowa said, what's happening in the north exactly is happening in the south. There's no southern part of Nigeria that you can do to say it is safe. Outside Lagos, every other state is troubled in the south. Before going into details of what is happening in the three segments of the south, let me commend the southwest governors for taking the bull by the horn. At least they've been able to unite themselves. They've been able to form a strong guard, the Amotekun Security Corps, which are, sincerely speaking, if they have not been there, it would have been a different story today. Ogun State, Osun State, Ekiti State, Ondo State, they are not left out. It's been all the same story. Coming to South-South, where I come from, the Delta, who are not spared at all. Ranging from Uyeli, from Olomu, there's problem there. You go to, there's also a problem. Coming to Eka, where a lot of people have been killed. At the end of the day, nothing happens. In fact, it's so worrisome that you go to police say they are coming, their vehicles are never around because they don't have what it takes to match them. Of course, you wouldn't blame the police, but the indigenes are also part of our problems. So we need a complete reorientation because it is the indigenes, the people driving Chaba or Kada, whatever name you may call it in your own area, that gives information to the kidnappers that they use in operating. They are also the ones they will say going to buy them food, buying them suya. Because when you find them, they detail the kind of food they want to eat. This is not the kidnappers that go to Mr. Biggs or whatever to buy the food. It is the indigenous. That's where we talk about reorientation. Yes, the architectures are failed, but what are we doing as our own people? The indigenous of the area, we need to sit up. Without that one, the government cannot do it alone. How many policemen do we have in a station that we are relying on the police? Is it the civil defense we are going to rely on? What are their numbers? It's only recently, because of outcry of Nigerians, we are talking about recruitment. This recruitment ought to have been done long before now. So I'm also happy that they are talking about thousands of recruitment to the Nigerian army, into civil defense, into immigration and all that. Recruitment is another thing. But let me say that we must take due diligence in the posting, even after the recruitment. Sir, I need to tell you here that you discover that the bulk of the job is done by the rank and file. But the rank and file that is being posted today are posted in the areas where they don't even hear their language. Without the knowledge of the local language, you cannot penetrate the syndicate. So we need the commanders could be from anywhere, but the rank and file that are involved in day-to-day operation must be people that hear at least one or two languages of the environment where they have been posted to. Without this, we will make headway. What do we do now? Thank God for the government of President Asuwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for what he has done. The kind of money in the hands of local government is more than they have ever received before. Maybe we may have to come up with a law where stipend must be recommended for the vigilante groups to strengthen them. Because there are some communities, they can't even get fuel, they can't even afford fuel. So these vigilante groups, they need to be funded from the local government as a way of encouraging them to do the job. Once they are funded, I'm sure they'll be able to do good work with the policemen. Government, on their own part, yes, the roads are unsafe, the roads are unsafe. The roads are unsafe. It is time for the government to take immediate decision. What do we do with our roads? All over the world, only the government cannot fund the maintenance of our roads. If they are going to give it to private sectors, repair the roads, tow the roads, will get the money, so that by the time you are traveling, because you discover that if the number of kidnapping that have been recorded between Lokoja and they get to where the roads are bad, and they get there. So we need government to take immediate decision. It's not all the roads government will be able to do. What do we do? Invite private investors, maintain the road, tow it, recover our money over a period of time, and so that we'll move further. Again, yes, you invite the service chiefs, they all come here. There is good collaboration at their own level. They have not been able to drive that collaboration down the ranks. I'll give you an example. By the grace of God, and by the discretion of the House, I belong to the Security Committee of the House. During the budget defense, we all agreed, what do we do to assist the various agencies under our own federal constituencies? And it's okay. The way to encourage them, maybe from our own budgetary provisions, we'll make provision for offices, we'll make provisions for barracks. It is heartening to note that one of the projects in my federal constituency have been stopped. The policemen say that where the project is cited belongs to them. It will not continue. That project has been stopped today. If there's collaboration, somebody is building something for the maybe civil defense, the Department of State Security, and you know it's to make your sister organizations comfortable, and you are not stopping it. Is there collaboration among them? So the service chiefs must learn to drive collaboration among the various services down the training so that there will be more collaboration. Because at times, even sharing information, they fight who is in charge, who is not in charge. Oh, we are going to arrest, if you arrest. So the service teams have a duty to do. They need to drive it down the drain. Of course, recently, the Mr. President created Ministry of Livestock. Today, they must be able to distinguish where are we going to marry the issue of colony and ranching together. So that by the time it is done, I'm sure that we'll get it better defined. It is necessary so that these issues, because it's all borders on security, of course, owners of cows must learn again to return to the traditional way. Those who take care of their cows, in those days, they used to give them maybe 1 or 2 cows at the end of the year. They fall back on it. But today, you discover that when you interview them, sir, because if you're a security man, you must find out what are their problems. They now pay them peanuts. So they are not longer encouraged. Because they are paying them peanuts, they are willing to be used by anybody. Therefore, sir, I want to appeal that we should look at that. And once we do that, South is also not left out. You go to Olo, there's a problem. You go to Kigwe, there's also a problem. Coming towards Enugu, where you have boundary with Benue State, there are also problems. Sir, we need a holistic approach. And I'm sure that by the time we take some of these measures, we talked about borders. The border is essential, sir. If you have been to Cotonou border or any of these borders, you discover that the harm the chabas, the Okada drivers do is more than anybody can contend with. Let's see if it can be enforced for them to stop the use of Chaba Okada at our borders, because they are the ones that they weaponize our own country. Yes, coming with trucks, customs to a reasonable extent are able to intercept. But what about the ones being hidden under the seats of the motorcycles? How do you discover them? Because they get there, they easily arrest them. So for the want of time, I want to stop here, and I believe that we should throw away issue of religion, we should throw away issue of party, and see whether we can fall back to the model of Jonathan, President Goodluck Jonathan. You know, in 2020, before he left office, we were almost getting to the point where the nation will be free. But because of issue of one thing or the other, let's throw sentiments away and see how much we can go to bring back the qualified people who can help us arrest the institution. Mr. Speaker, I say thank you for the opportunity of earning my opinion.
Thank you, Honorable Victor. Speaking on behalf of the Southern Caucus of this great House, honorable colleagues, this is where we're going to draw the curtain for the day. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, we'll continue this debate, and we will start with the 6 zonal caucus leaders who will be making presentation on behalf of the 6 geopolitical zones, after which we'll open the floor for all members individually who may have issues either with their states or with their constituencies to speak and also give advice that hopefully at the end of this exercise, we'll collect, come up with a resolution and forward to the executive for implementation. I want to again and again inform the press that whatever is being said today and whatever will be said tomorrow, either individually or representing committees or caucuses, remain opinions of those who spoke. It is not the collective position of the House. So no press should go and say, the House has resolved to take XYZ decision. We have no call for any vote. We didn't put any question on all the issues raised today because they are mere contributions of the House. At the appropriate time tomorrow, we will take decision on those areas that we agree collectively, and that is where we will inform the general public of our positions. Thank you so much, honorable colleagues, for being here and for all the contributions you have made. Tomorrow, 11, we will continue. So without any waste of time, I'll call on the chairman, Rules and Business, to move that the House adjourn plenary to tomorrow, Wednesday, 11 a.m.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis A. Girogane, Wivers, my name, Ugele North, Ugele South, Udu Federal Constituency. I rise to move that the House do adjourn plenary to tomorrow, 11 a.m., same place. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Before I ask the leader, the minority leader, Honorable Kaoji, I want you to get up, please. Stand up, please. Respect the House and stand up. Now come out. Come out, please. Walk on this side, please. When you reach where I want you to be, I will ask you to... Minority Leader, please kindly second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do stand adjourned to tomorrow to continue with the debate on insecurity in Nigeria. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There's have it. House has adjourned to tomorrow, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Thank you.